Welcome back to Inspirational Journeys, everyone. And those of you watching on YouTube, welcome to part 4 of my writing encouragement series. And this segment is our writing challenge. It is called Story Seeds with the Writing Warriors for Jesus, or Story Seeds with the WWJs. So let me tell you how that started. My friend Sherry, during our boot camp, told us about another writing challenge that takes place in January, which shall remain nameless on the podcast and video. But anyway, so as we were talking, we wanted to try to create something very similar. I came up with the name Story Seeds, and then working together, Jen and Tish came up with the template. So I want to show you the template, but the reason I call this Story Seeds is because we are planting seeds in our flower gardens. You can pretend that it's a vegetable garden. Whatever your story garden is made from, that is your garden. That is how you plant these ideas and prune them and help them to grow. And how this works is during the month of March, every day, I'm already a day ahead, or 2 days ahead, quite a few days ahead when you actually hear this, because I were airing it on Tuesday. So, or today, Tuesday, when you're hearing this. So what you do is every day, you follow this template. You don't have to fill in everything right now. You just fill in the basic story ideas. If you want to add more to it later, that's okay. But every day you're going to create a story idea. You're going to find inspiration from your daily activities. You're going to try to find inspiration from while you're listening to podcasts, watching TV. You can sometimes find it in the bathroom, which happens with me a lot. My inspiration chamber. Hello. Thank you very much. I know it's kind of funny, but I heard somebody else. I said something about that, and another lady whose streams I watch actually said that, and that kind of stuck. So keep a notebook handy. If you can, keep your phone handy. Keep Post-it notes handy to write things down. Just make sure you move them before they get thrown away. Whatever, but it's basically to plant the ideas. And you do one per day for 30 days. Or you can do 30 ideas in 31 days. Or if you want, you can do one every day and have 31 story ideas. It's in preparation for Camp NaNoWriMo in April. So I'm going to show you the template that we use to help you create the story ideas. And if you would like the template, you can always email me at annwrites75@gmail.com. That's ANNWRITES75@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you the Word document that I have. Or if you leave me a comment with your email address, if you don't mind sharing it on the YouTube channel, or you can message me on social media, my Facebook, Twitter, and not the LinkedIn, but my Facebook and Twitter links are there in the YouTube and podcast descriptions for the channel and the podcast itself. My social media is there. If you find me on social media, message me with your email address and let me know that you'd like the template, and I'll be glad to send it to you. So let me show you this template real quick. So we're going to share screen. Share screen. Oops. There you go. Now the story scene template is here. So Story Seeds with the WWJs. And the first thing you're going to do, and I'm reading this off so that those of you on the podcast can hear it as well, and I can send it to you if you'd like. I'm also going to do a blog post with these things that you can fill in too. So just be sure to watch out for that. So the first one is story title. The second one is your idea pitch. Like, what's your story about? Character's name, age, traits, motivations, etc. And you can write these for each of your possible characters. Even if you don't know their motivations, age, and traits, you can put your character's name there and then add everything back in later as you get to know your characters. If you follow the snowflake method, which I've done back in November and into December. So yeah, I did one in December as well. So yeah, if you go and follow that, or if you stay tuned for Randy Ingermanson's interview, which I mentioned, you can also look at that. But still, you don't have to follow this method. This is just the way I do it. But to get you to know your characters, this is another way you can do that. So after characters, name, age, traits, motivations, etc., you say, tell about your story, add exciting details. Exciting details can be plot twists, conflict, anything that would keep the story moving forward and keep your readers engaged. And if you don't know these right now, when you come up with the seed of an idea, it's okay. That's how you prune these seeds and develop these stories. That's how you do that. That's why they're called story seeds, okay? So you can fill that in later. The obstacles or problems that your story has, it could be anything from conflict. If you're writing a mystery, it could be places where your detective is fighting for her life, his or her life, or it could be other things as well. So obstacles and problems, solutions or resolutions, depending on the type of genre you're writing. And you don't have to know all this right now. Some of these questions are used to prune your story. But the title, the idea pitch, that, and if you know your possible characters, that's some seeds that you could plant. But even just the title and the idea pitch right now, those are pretty good seeds. That's a foundation for the story. Your genre, and that's you. If you know that, you can fill that in and then come back fill the others later. Like I've stated, I know I'm sounding redundant, but I want to make sure you understand how this works. Your audience, your setting, your timestamp, like what year is it in? Is there a certain month that you want to put it in? All that stuff. And the date of your idea, which is what you want to write down. When did you actually come up with this idea? And that's it. And that's it. And anything else you want to add later, you can go back and fill in some of these details later on. You don't have to do them all now. I can't stress that enough. This is just to plant the seeds. Even if it's just the beginning of an idea, you don't have a title, but you kind of have a basic story idea. Like for example, remember my umbrellas and chairs plot? Let's just say that's the idea, something about a beach. That's the idea that you want to go back to, that you want to start with. That may be the first beginning of your idea pitch. Like I said, you don't have to write these in order. You have them labeled there, but you don't have to do these in order at all. You can come back and fill in some of the blanks later. So I challenge you to use this template or use these fields, these little elements to help to build, to plant, and prune your story tree, your story flowers, your flower garden, which is your story. Whatever garden you want to pretend. If you were to see the images, which you might see a flower garden, but you can do it however you want. But this is kind of an idea that this is kind of a thing that we came up with to prep for Camp NaNoWriMo. You can also use it for both the April and July sessions, or you can use it for NaNoWriMo itself. So do use that. If you want to share this with your friends on Facebook and Twitter, use the hashtag StorySeedsWWJs. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next week with my interview with Claire O'Sullivan. So stay tuned for that. Keep writing and be blessed, everyone. Have a blessed day.